All right. So we started recording. I have you on one screen. I'm going to move you to another screen and we'll see which screen works. And that way I'll be able to play around a little more. But so here we go. The previous screen. So this is the screen where we start for the sign up. And then we're looking at our template. And this is like our cool little preview template thing.
Okay.
And you can kind of see like how it would look at different sizes. So like on a tablet or like a vertical tablet or on a phone or a vertical phone. But let's just look at it full screen for now. And I wonder, can I make you bigger? That'd be kind of cool. Yeah, oh, look at that. That's cool. Sweet. So this design, I kind of thought of you because it has a little bit more of a corporate vibe to it.
Mm-hmm.
It uses like some deep blues that are pretty common in the corporate world. It's an overall white background. And the truth is that like actually a lot of the designs are dependent on images. So like this image looks super corporate, but you could definitely modify that with something else that's less corporate. But it just speaks to the corporate world a little more. It's got like some logos in it. It's a little bit more like a services type of view. Just overall struck me as might appeal to a more traditional crowd. Which my understanding was that you are trying to sell a little bit more spiritual wisdom and openness to people who come, like who exist within a corporate world. So it's like you're gonna bring them to a different place, but where they're starting from is a corporate world, and so that's gonna be what they kind of trust. So that's why I thought of this. Like, you know, if we put something that's like kind of like Hindu inspired or something, like you're going to attract people who are already down with that.
Yeah.
And your whole goal is like, you're kind of the whisperer, right? Where you whisper to the spiritual person that's like locked inside of the corporate, like Iron Man armor.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I definitely agree that like I wouldn't put like Hinduism, spiritual chakra as anything like that in my branding. I want it to be very branded to the corporate people. The only thing that I want a little different than what I was initially thinking and what is this is I don't want it to be too compliant. Like I want there to be a little bit of a rebellious feel to it, almost of like you know, if I'm talking about people not being in their own power, like I want to show that. I don't want to mince my words to sound very like professional and accepting. I want there to be a little polarity in it. I want there to be like enough is enough on the stress-driven culture. Like we're changing it. You have the power. Like I want there to be a very human feeling to it. And we could potentially use this tempo, but I think there'd be some changes I'd want to make where like what my message is to the corporate world. It's both to individuals who are living high stress, you know, they're making good money, they're doing well, but they're kind of just tired of feeling disempowered or following, you know, carrying out someone else's message, not their own. Or it could even be catered to corporations who are looking for a culture change. So it's important to me that it's professional enough, meaning like when I say professional, again, it's not woo-woo, it's not using crazy, but I do want it to be bold enough where it's not just your everyday, like, you know, Karl Solutions or like something that I want it to be bold and making them feel like it's professional, but it's bold and it's different. too. Does that make
Yeah,
sense?
that makes total sense.
Yeah.
Here's what I'm thinking is like, you kind of have this this place where you're trying to bring people
Yeah.
that's outside of the realm of where they currently exist, right?
Yeah.
And here's the image that I have in my head is like, do you want, so what you don't want to be is the guy in a suit who walks up to another guy in the suit and says like, let's be guys in suits and work harder and be happy, right? You don't want to be that.
Yes.
But my understanding is you don't want to be like the hippie
No.
who walks up to the guy in the suit and says, "Brah, what are you doing, man? Like, you just gotta chill out. You gotta realize that if you don't feed the goddess within you, you know, like that goddess is gonna die." And the guy in the suit's gonna be like, "Dude, what the hell are you talking about? Like, get out of my way, you dirty hippie."
Yep.
So what I'm thinking is maybe you want to be the guy in the suit who walks up to another guy in the suit and shakes his hand like you would expect a guy in a suit to do, and then says, "Hey, fellow guy in a suit, I know how you feel, and I can show you something different.
Mm-hmm.
And there's something inside of you that if you feed that, you're going to be the best guy in a suit ever."
Mm-hmm.
And then by the time you're done with him, maybe he is more a little bit like a hippie who's wearing like a softer shirt and he is
Yeah.
speaking a little bit in those terms. But when you first meet him, you're going to dress like him and you're going to speak to him in a way that isn't like frightening to him,
Yes.
but is just different enough that he's like, you know what? There is something inside of me that is curious about what you're saying. And you look like a legitimate guy. Maybe I should listen.
Yeah.
And
A
for
former
me,
consultant, a former financial guy, which I am, so
exactly.
yeah.
And that's why I think on your website, if you look super legit and you're using corporate colors and corporate fonts and it looks super professional, but in your words, you're saying things that make them think because they haven't really heard exactly that before. And you are inviting them to think in a different way, but it's all packaged in a suit. Like for me, the suit is the design.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not telling you like, you know, have a page called services. I'm not telling you,
Yeah.
you know, write to them like content like better performance through a 5-step program. Like I'm not
Which is
saying
what
you
they
have to do
initially
that.
actually headed my branding. Yeah.
You did? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. It was very like increased performance and stuff. And I was like, that's not the problems that I went through. I really want to be there for people to resolve the problems that I had. It's really simple as that.
Yeah.
I love the
I
suit example and I mostly agree with it. I just want to throw in a little twist.
Yes.
So actually
And yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
as part of my actual branding, like when I go up on stage and speak, I actually have this suit I'm gonna wear that's like made out of like stretch sweatpant material, kind of, but it looks really good. It looks really professional. It looks like a suit, but it's also comfortable. And it's also, and I think that really exemplifies what I would like this website to look like too, where kind of like the website we just looked at is, I'll be honest with all, I'm never going to get into the hippie lingo because that's actually not who I am. Like I'm
Right.
bringing in the business professionalism, but then the there's going to be a lot on brain training. We're going to do metrics. We're going to do heart training. We're going to have metrics, actual measurements through like wearables and stuff. So there's going to be a lot of stuff that really will speak to the biohacking world, which is what the professional world is more attuned to. And then there will be you could call it hippie components of heart opening and compassion and all that. But in terms of the wrapper, I agree with it being a suit. I just want it to be, say everyone's wearing black, gray, and beige suits. I want mine to be maybe like a little bit of a texture. The one guy who's like, oh, okay, he's the hip, like the New York executive, the New York 25-year-old CEO, like that kind of thing, you know?
He's got this shirt that was like handmade in like some tropical island, and over there it's so expensive that you like basically have to be the richest guy in town to get it, and like he had it custom shipped, and it looks freaking rad, and you look just as professional, but there's something a little different about you.
Yeah.
And it's like appealing.
Yeah.
Right.
And for me, that different about me is like little less of it even being like some exotic $10,000 material, but more of like, oh shit, this guy still can speak in a meeting with the best of them, but he can walk into a meeting feeling comfortable. He can walk into a meeting wearing
Right.
colors that make him happy rather than colors that fit in. Basically, yeah, that's the theme. Is I want to make sure that this is not giving an essence of fitting in. I want to make sure it's
Right.
giving an essence of being you, because each individual is going to have a different experience. So it can be professional. I just want it to be like bold. I think the word I keep saying is bold. A little
Yeah,
more color, a little more texture, a little more that than your typical blue navy suit, if that makes sense.
I got you. I totally got you.
Yeah. So I could
Cool.
see us using a template like this, but I could see our pictures and our fonts being a little adjusted to be, I do not want to give the impression of fitting in. That's the opposite. So
Yeah, totally. Cool. I think we have a similar vision. Like we've said it in different words, but I'm getting what you're saying, that like
cool.
it's gotta, like, it can't be so outside the world of these corporate people that they're just like, no, and just dismiss it.
Mm-hmm.
But you also don't want it to be like just another, like, that they've already seen, that's trying to fit in, trying to be one of them, because
Yeah.
that's really not what you are.
Yeah. And that'll probably be mostly the language and the pictures, but overall, like I could buy into this type of thing. It's just this would be more fitting in, so we would make the fonts, the language, the spacing a little bit more bold and
Yeah.
neat.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I mean, I'm seeing this as a starting point, obviously, and I just think of the starting points that I saw, this one was a little better.
The
But
thing I
let's
like about
take,
this one, and I'm open to looking at others, but the thing I like about this one is that it's very focused on the person. It's like it's the story of an individual. It's very focused on the person, and I like that.
yeah, yes. This one I'm not a huge fan of. This looks dated.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah,
the
so
life
different to Man
coach.
Unleashed. Like, yeah, I'm not planning on having a lot of like nature, mountains. It's going to be focused to the business person for sure.
Yeah. This one's super feminine.
Open your heart, fellas. I mean, this,
Yeah.
to be honest, this looks like the same, very similar. It is the same as the other
Yeah.
one.
It's the feminine version of the other one.
Yeah. And what is
It's
that called?
that one, I think I called it the motivational speaker. And then, yeah, that's the motivational speaker template. And then this one is the life coach one, which is kind of nice, actually.
Huh.
This one's kind of badass, actually.
Yeah. Is there a go down?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, no worries. Yeah. And it has the as seen on it. Yeah, featured in. So this is speaking a little bit more to me, where it's professional, but it's like, yeah, I like the way the boxes are placed, and it's outside the box a little.
Feels a little more modern, actually, than this one.
Yeah. And when I say bold, I think modern is some of what I'm alluding to. You know, not fitting in, obviously, but even the modernness of it. Can you scroll through the different tabs, please?
Yeah.
Stuff like this, I love. Hi, I'm Karl, like that type of thing.
Yeah, totally. That's what I did for my website. Check it out. I'm building a new website for like my basic consultation work.
Yeah, I actually was looking at yours a couple of days ago.
Yeah, same thing. Hello,
Yeah,
I'm Adele Berman. I think it's getting pretty popular.
cool. Next tab. I would make the services, I would make this pop a little bit more,
Yeah.
but that we can do. Like, we don't need to change the template for that.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have so much editability for sure.
And I like this for the articles too, because I have a few blogs already, and
Mm-hmm. I don't know why that icon's not working, but we'll get that fixed.
so just so you know, my social channels are going to be LinkedIn and YouTube. So
Okay.
with YouTube, I'm going to have a lot of videos on, like, let's talk about, you know, meetings and how maybe you want to be heard more in a meeting. You know, normally you sit there silent, talked over you, your suggestions don't get heard. How can you, speak your truth? How can you be mindful? So you're, blah, 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 blah. So I'm going to be having a lot of YouTube videos which take a corporate concept and then bring in potentially neuroscience, brainwave states, heart coherence, or, meditation, whatever, as accents to the actual video is going to be surrounded around typical scenarios of a corporate person.
Yeah. Cool.
So I would like to have probably a blog page and maybe even either a page or just a button that links to YouTube.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think you should definitely feature some of your latest videos at least, and then link over to the channel.
Cool. And that might be later because I don't have videos yet. So.
Mm-hmm. So let's do this. I think I'm gonna send you. So we said we're doing the life guide template. So let me share this with you. I know there's a chat. There's the chat.
So there's one part of my message I want to share with you.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I feel like it's got a strong energetic component to it.
Yeah.
Basically, the way I want to differentiate myself and my brand and my message is, the health and the healthcare industry is about you live your life, you do whatever you want, you eat what you want, you smoke what you want, you do what you want, and then you mess up, and then you have healthcare. You plug the holes, you take the medicines, you do that, right? The wellness industry is more of a proactive. It's more of, spend time with your mind, spend time with your body, do self-care of your body, meditate, know what thoughts are coming up, and basically proactively kind of get to know yourself and create more of a cohesion with yourself, right? And then the way I'm going to be marketing it is the next step is kind of, I don't have a terminology for it yet, but for now I'll say something like mind-body coherence or mind-body synchronization, which is through physically altering your mind, your brain, your organs to work in sync, and then kind of using wellness practices, meditation, breath work, nervous system. I'm going to bring a lot of science into it, and then multiplying it with an empowered mindset, speaking your truth, having conviction, being vulnerable. So it's basically going to be synchronized physiological functions and empowered mindset, and clear emotions is basically going to be this, what I call mind-body synchronization or mind-body coherence. So I just wanted to say that because I feel like that will resonate with a lot of my audience who is big on optimization. The word optimization is huge in the business world and that type of stuff. So it's really, I want my branding to show that as well, showing that we're touching on all aspects. We're touching on our emotions, we're touching on our physical bodies, we're touching on our minds. So I want this to give off that self-mastery kind of vibe.
Okay.
Which the businessman will resonate with, the self-mastery kind of vibe.
Yeah, said self-mastery was a lot easier for me to like pick up on than the other ways in which you phrased it.
Interesting. Self-mastery was one I came up with months ago, and then I decided to change it. So maybe I'll just go back to self-mastery.
Yeah, I think self-mastery resonates a lot with people who are trying to be high achievers.
Yeah.
And who have ambitions.
Mm-hmm.
And those are the people who push themselves too hard and end up needing what you're teaching them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that, you know, it's important, just like you think it, you know, like if you're just all about like external stuff and you don't take care of the vessel, then like the vessel ain't going anywhere.
Yeah.
Like the vessel's going to crash. So let's see, videos to make. I'm making like brand consultation is kind of one we're doing right now. Another one is template selection. And this is like registration. All right. So let's go ahead and get you to register. Do you want to share your screen?
Yep. It says host disabled screen sharing.
Oh yeah. Let's see. I'm going to stop my share. And then I'm really curious to see how this like flipping between screens is going to work out.
It still says.
Yeah, give me a second here.
Oh.
There, try now.
Okay, yep.
Cool. All right, so basically it was just coachmate.com/register, and then I added all those strings to the end. And this screen's gonna get improved. We're gonna change that silly logo at the top. We're gonna put some thumbnails in here. But you basically want, we just talked about the life guide template. So that's the one you're gonna wanna either view or select if you're ready.
Okay. What do I do for the URL? Oh, just.
So that's a temporary URL.
Yeah. I just saw coachmate.com/alpha.
Exactly.
Should this be a different username than what I have for my normal WordPress admin, or does that matter?
Oh, do you already have one? Did I create one for you? Is that what happened?
No. I just have WordPress for my website currently. It's nothing to do with Coachmate.
I'm just curious. Did I create? No, you don't have one. Yeah, okay. So it really doesn't matter. It's whatever you want.
Okay. Gotcha.
I would definitely, I mean, unless it's always the same password.
Okay.
So just go over to the account page. Since you were selected to have a free CoachMate site, this one is exceptionally on CoachMate. So let me find you here on my side. And then I guess, whoa, what's that? Oh, that's you. Okay. So go ahead and refresh your page.
Okay.
Right. So your subscription is currently inactive. That's weird. Just took care of that.
And it says your license key doesn't match your current domain.
Yes, that's another issue. All right, go ahead and refresh. I feel like it should be good now because I'm seeing it active on my end. It might also be a thing where it takes like a day to show up.
It could be.
Yeah, you're still seeing it inactive. Okay.
But it says your visitors are currently unable to access your sites.
Yeah, but I don't think that's true. I think we can access it. It might be a caching thing. Like I've been a little aggressive in the caching.
Okay.
And which is good for performance, but also creates like some weird stuff like that. And we're currently working on this license thing so that that doesn't happen anymore. That's why you're a beta tester, my friend.
That is.
The license is on the house.
Awesome message. Cool. Let me know what to do next.
All right, go ahead and refresh.
I think I accidentally clicked on something.
Yeah, you went to create a new post.
Okay. So the license.
All right.
Yep.
License is taken care of. Cool, man. So we got you in. That was pretty easy. And I'm seeing that you still have like Beehive and SEO. So those are all, yeah, there are definitely like a few things to clean up in here. So maybe we can I'm going to pause the recording and we should talk about which videos we need to create.